Hi, I want to talk about the Professional Employment Organisation, which is a phrase, the PEO phrase is being talked about by quite a lot of people, and people think it's a relatively complex concept, but it actually isn't. It reminds me of the space race when the Americans and the Russians were trying to land a man on the moon first in the late 60s, and they stumbled across the issue of how to make a pen work in the spacecraft. The Americans spent millions of dollars trying to solve this problem. The Russians clearly encountered the same problem, and the Russians simply used a pencil. So sometimes we over-engineer problems that aren't necessarily there. And so it is with the Professional Employment Organisation model. This has been around in America for many years, probably 50 years, and in its very simplest terms, it's the outsourcing of your human resources function in its totality, including the employment of the individuals. So you outsource effectively things like attendance management, holiday planning, management of payroll and payments, and the employment risk is all outsourced effectively to a PEO. So this concept's now coming into the UK, and you can see that umbrella companies, for example, umbrella payroll companies, are quite well placed to embrace this. But in our umbrella world, the key difference is that we need to guarantee an employment rate to the contractor. The employment rate never changes, so employment costs are never reflected on the payslip. So all the umbrella company's challenge is to agree an appropriate pay rate with the paying entity, whether that be an end client or whether it be a recruitment agency, and they then guarantee an employed payment rate to the employee. The difference should include the margin for the umbrella company, so the risk is making sure the pay rate is set at an appropriate level to ensure that profitability is maintained. The PEO model is no more complex than that. So going back to the analogy between the Americans and the Russians and the space race, do not make the mistake of over-engineering the problem. And some of you may well know that the American and Russian story is actually an urban myth, but one of my phrases is don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, which is what I've done here.